Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm back with a new layout. This one is for the Paige Evans design team, and I'm going to be combining 4 different collections that Paige has created. And I'm going to start with the 6x6 paper pads. I've got Pick Me Up, Turn the Page, Oh My Heart, and Take Me Away. And I'm going to cut out 12 3x3 squares. And I'm going to wind up using one of her cut files that you haven't seen yet. Well, you've seen it. It's not a brand new one, but you haven't seen it in this video yet. And it's called the Love, 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 Love cut file. And it's basically the letters that spell love 4 times in a row. And so I wanted to make 4 lines for these letters. And I wanted to do sort of color blocking and rainbow all in the same layout. And so I'm going to have a row of pinks, a row of yellows, a row of darker blue, and then a row of aqua. And so I thought I would kind of do a little mix and match here and go through these 6x6 paper pads and find 4 different pink ones and 4 different yellow ones and so on and so on, and just get a bunch of different shades of each of those colors. And so here I've got it all done already. It's all on the cutting mat, and I've run it through the Cameo, and so each letter is going to be a different paper. And so I've got some different shades of pink, the yellows, and you can see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to create this basically as my background design, and it's going to be the basis, or not the basis, the base of this entire page. And my thought was I was going to print out small photos and use those behind the O's. So I'm going to have 4 pictures on this layout. I have a lot of people request me to do layouts with more than 1 photo. And so this is a fun idea on how to use 4. And so I've printed out some older pool photos of Reese. This is from, I think, 2012. And you can kind of see I wasn't super close to her, so she's small in the photos. And these are perfect for this layout because they fit inside the O's. And I don't have to worry about cutting off her head or her face because she's kind of far away from me. And so if you have pictures that aren't super close, this is a good idea. And so, yeah, I'm kind of using the photos in the title, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to glue those down and then cut them out. And of course, you know, these pictures were very pretty in color because she was in the pool, so there was a lot of blue, and then the hedge was behind her, so it was green. But I had a lot of color going on with the papers, and so I didn't want to have even more colors competing, and so the black and white works well here. So you can kind of see the design I've got going here. I've got all of the photos cut out, and I love how that looks. And so they're kind of in a straight line, and I'm going to kind of go with that diagonal from left to right. But I am going to mess up. Did I say mess up? Jazz up. It could be a mess. Chances are there will be a mess. The background, and so I'm going to use clear gesso here on the white cardstock. And I was in the mood to play with my Distress Oxides. And so I'm going to use some of it dry, some of it wet. I'm going to use my blending tool to kind of smudge some of it on and then stamp some onto plastic packaging, spritz it with water, turn it over and smush it down. And I'm trying to use the 4 main colors that I have going on in the title letters. So I pulled out several different colors, and I'm doing some mixing and matching with the Distress Oxides as well. Of course, I can't remember all the names of these colors off the top of my head, but I blended 2 different blues, 2 different pink shades here, and I love how these oxides look. They just look soft and faded, and I almost had a mistake there. I dropped it. Thank goodness it did not land in the wrong spot. So yeah, I love how that looks. It's a little bright though. I don't want it to distract from the title, so I'm going to cover it with a little bit of white gesso just to tone it down a little bit. And that's the beauty of mixed media and making a background like this, is you can always cover it up and, you know, add something on top of it. I was in the mood to use a little modeling paste. I just got a brand new jar of it the other day, and this stencil is super old. I think this was the very first stencil I ever bought. It's over 10 years old, and I actually have cut it out. It was part of a 12 by 12 stencil, and I got it at one of my local scrapbook stores that closed a long time ago, and it's just these really skinny lines, and it creates the coolest texture. And so I thought to make those lines stand out, I would go over the areas with the color with the ink blending tool and just kind of add a couple more shades and darken it up, and you'll be able to see those lines kind of start to pop off the page a little bit more. And these are just, you know, random lines. They don't really have anything to do with the title or the photos. I just wanted some texture and some interest on the background, and I think it looks really cool because, you know, your background does not always have to make sense. I love to make it just artsy and random and pretty and have it complement the photos or the papers or the embellishments. Now here's where I'm bringing in some shimmers and some coordinating colors here and just adding some splatters, blending some of it in the main colors, pink, aqua, yellow, and blue. And a lot of this is going to be covered up, but you're still going to be able to see a lot of it because the love cutouts, you know, they're pretty skinny. They're just letters, so they're not going to cover up a whole lot. You know, if I was going to use like big chunks of pattern paper, a lot more of it would be covered up. So, and my pictures are small, so, and that's gold color shine, of course. I just felt like adding gold because it's just gold and it's always pretty. So now I'm going to come back and start to, this took me a while to get these lined up exactly. And I think I still got them kind of crooked. I didn't want to draw lines on the background though, because I would never be able to cover that up or erase it. And so I tried to use my ruler at one point to make sure they're all nice and straight. And then I decided I was going to pop up all the O's. So I'm going to add some foam behind all of the circles, just to add a little bit of dimension and a little bit of height. And then here we go, very slowly and very carefully, I'm going to start to glue down all of these letters. And the V can be tricky. You know, you can actually tilt the V to the left because, you know, the first line of it is super straight and then the other line is kind of at an angle, and I love how that looks. And so I decided to make it as straight as I could, and I got it all glued down. Hopefully it's straight. I do have to wind up redoing the green or the aqua E later on, but I do that after the video's over. So in order to get a giant loop of thread, because I wanted to coordinate all my thread behind the O's, I wrapped it around my hand at first, and it was just too small. You couldn't see it. So then I wrapped it around the end of my gesso bottle, and it was perfect because I want to have coordinating thread behind each O, just to add a little bit more, you know, messy factor to the background. Also, it's going to add color. It's also going to add texture. And I kind of had the circle and then kind of just mess it up a little bit so it's peeking out from behind the circles. And I've got all those done. I'm going to glue those down, and I'm trying, if you notice behind her in the pool, you know, the line is horizontal, the edge of the pool, and then the hedge behind her. So I'm trying to make sure that all of those lines are perfectly straight, just so it looks more uniform. So there we've got it all glued down. All the thread is kind of peeking out. I love how that looks. And now comes the embellishing part. So here's where I do a lot of fussy cutting. I'm going to go through, mostly from here on out, I think I use the Pick Me Up 6x6 paper pad. And clearly I want small things because the words love are huge, but my pictures are small, and I want to include lots of tiny small things around each of the circles that coordinate with the colors. So the 6x6 paper pad is perfect for that because everything's small. So I'm going to cut what did I just cut? A flower up for the top section. I'm going to cut a couple of the moths. I'm going to cut a blue one, a yellow one, and just kind of sort through everything that matches each color. And the fun thing about, well, I wouldn't necessarily say the fun thing, but a good thing about doing color blocking like this, or doing monochromatic layouts or monochromatic areas, is it kind of limits what you can put in that area. So if you're just looking for yellow things, there's only so many yellow things in the collection, and so you're limited to what you can add in that area. And so it kind of makes it fun. You go on a little scavenger hunt looking through things, only pink things, only yellow things. And so once you find those couple of things, then you have to use those. And so each little circle there has either flowers or some butterflies. I did cut a butterfly from Turn the Page up there on the pink on the left side. And then I pulled out the puffy stickers from Pick Me Up. And these are perfect for this kind of layout because everything is small. There's some really teeny tiny flowers and stars and little hearts. And I also used some things from the haberdashery. I love that word. Haberdashery. It's basically buttons, sequins, and little epoxy stickers. Everything has got sticker on the back. And then I pulled out the sticker sheet also from Pick Me Up, adding a couple of little hearts, just anything that I could find that was small, a couple of phrase stickers that matched. And this was fun. This was fun because I actually found a lot of things. I found so many things that I wanted to use, but then it started to get busy. And I was like, oh, I don't want to really make it overly busy. I didn't want to cover up any more of the pictures because I've got little embellishments overlapping each picture. I made sure all of it was glued down. And then I thought I had hit record. I took a break and I forgot to record this part, but that's okay. You're going to see me do it on the other side. I wanted to add something to the edges. And I think I used this same paper on my last layout and did this same technique where I just glue a strip to the back of the paper and then rip and cut a little section of the cardstock up and off, or up and off. Cut it up and cut it off. My brain, what am I saying today? I can't speak properly. Anyway, you can see the stripes. You can see the colors on the side of the paper, and it's all of the colors that match the 4 main colors. And then I decided to keep going with embellishing. I guess I didn't think it was busy enough, and so I went through the Pick Me Up 2x2 paper pad, the one with the phrases in it, and did some more fussy cutting just because things matched, and it was fun. I thought I want to add some more. So I cut a couple of these little pieces that say very, 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 very much because, I've got love, and then it made me think of love you very, very much. And then the one at the bottom says blue skies. Doesn't really go with love you very much, but it was a sunny day and there were blue skies and it matched and I liked it. I did some stitching there. That's what I was trying to show you, with some gold thread just up and down the edges there. And then I did fussy cut a few more flowers from the 12x12 sheet that has those flowers. I think that's paper number 2 from Pick Me Up. And then I do add a little bit of journaling down here at the bottom. I didn't know where to put it. I didn't want to, make the layout feel like it was off center, not off center, but I didn't want to ruin the shape, the diagonal shape, by putting my journaling over on the left, so I kept it on the right. But anyway, there's the final layout. You can really see the modeling paste lines popping through there now, and I love how this turned out. Took me a while to get it photographed. I couldn't get it straight to save my life, but anyway, you can see all the little details there that I added with each color, and this was a lot of fun to put together. Sorry I was not speaking clearly today. I don't know. Maybe I'm hungry. I think I need to eat. But anyway, let me know if you have any questions about any of these products or any of the techniques. Make sure you check out Paige's cut files. I'll put the link below. She adds 10 new ones every week, and they are so much fun. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a great weekend.